ahead on 12 News Weekend, inspired to sing.
You know you was wrong, you knew all along.
Why this student from Golden Valley decided to record her first album. Then a branding reboot.
It's like I lived down in a ghetto or something like this. And it's just totally false.
What goes into remaking the image of a city? But first, plans emerge for the old Kmart property in New Hope. 12 News Weekend starts right now. And thanks for joining us on 12 News Weekend. I'm Shannon Slatton.
And I'm Delane Cleveland. Well, it is the talk of New Hope. What will happen to the old Kmart property?
We now have more of an idea. At a special meeting this week, developers presented 3 options, all very different. It's been about a year since the old Kmart store came down in New Hope, leaving a blank slate of city property and 14 acres of possibility.
You can essentially recreate yourself in that area. So, I mean, there's a lot of work to do.
During Wednesday night's special session, city council members got the first look at what developers could do.
There were 3 very, very different plans.
The first plan, presented by Amcon Construction, shows an apartment complex with 130 units with underground parking, plus a new city hall and a medical office building. The second presentation by the Beard Group included for-sale townhomes, apartments, some retail, plus a government building that could be a new city hall, police station, and an office for the Robbinsdale School District. Pavilions would also be home to the city's farmers market. The third option came together only days ago when Anderson Companies started working with a new grocery store chain that wants to establish a presence in the Twin Cities. The city says these options are just a starting point, and the final plan could look much different than what was presented here on Wednesday.
We asked all 3 developers to try to find a grocery option. We only saw one proposal with a grocery option. We suggested all 3 proposals have medical. Well, we saw one with medical. So, it's hard to put it all together and do it all in one 14-acre development.
The City Council is expected to meet in special session to discuss the options on February 3rd.
Your latest heating bill may have you experiencing sticker shock. Colder than average temperatures in December and January have our furnaces running longer and harder. In some cases, natural gas customers are seeing their December and early January heating bill double from November's.
You could keep your temperature set at the same 70 degrees, for example, or 68 degrees for an inside ambient air temperature, and the furnace is still going to have to run longer and harder to keep it at that temperature simply because it's much colder outside.
If you're looking to save some money, turn down the thermostat a few degrees when you're not home. That can save you around 10% a year on your heating bill.
Anoka Hennepin school teachers are taking serious steps to resolve a 6-month-long contract impasse. The district's nearly 3,000 teachers will now only complete work during school hours as required by their contract. That means no grading papers, checking emails, or tweaking lesson plans after hours. The teachers union and the district have met 13 times trying to agree on a new 2-year contract. The impasse is largely over pay and work conditions.
The Osseo School District has scrapped one plan in favor of another to address overcrowding in a Maple Grove elementary school. In response to parent complaints, the district now plans to move students who open enrolled at Basswood Elementary. They would be shifted to Oakview Elementary. The previous plan would have changed attendance boundaries. It's a plan parents who live near Basswood saw as unfair. The school board is expected to vote on the new plan Tuesday.
In our weekend review, a new round of layoffs occurred at Target, but the retail giant has not said how those cuts will impact its Brooklyn Park operations. The cuts come on the heels of a costly security breach and slumping fourth-quarter sales. Target also will no longer offer health care coverage for its part-time workers. The company cites new options available through the Affordable Health Care Act. The proposed Bottineau light rail line has cleared a major hurdle. A 5-county transit board approved more than $27 million for the project. That's 60% of the engineering cost. Planning will now begin for station stops. The project can also now seek federal funding. In Golden Valley, there's disappointment after an apartment project approved by the city fell through. City Manager Tom Burt says the developer behind the Tiburon apartment project backed out due to a lack of financing. The plan called for market rate apartments at Highway 169 and Olson Memorial Highway. Council members expressed disappointment because they felt it would have filled a housing need for younger professionals. One of the first big steps in Brooklyn Park's new branding effort kicked off this week.
Representatives from the public relations firm Carmichael Lynch Spong met with residents to learn more about what they like and dislike about Brooklyn Park. Brooklyn Park has received plenty of positive coverage in recent memory. New businesses continue to sprout up along Highway 610, and the city has seen a reduction in crime.
We have this bad reputation.
However,
We may have earned it way back when.
Have you say your name?
some say the city still has a negative reputation.
To be honest, I mean, my dad didn't want me working here. He doesn't like the area.
Everybody just kind of, oh, really, you live there? It's a crime-ridden thing. It's like I live down in a ghetto or something like this. And it's just totally false.
Who else?
To get that message across, Brooklyn Park hired Carmichael Lynch Spong.
Certainly hiring us won't do it in and of itself. What we can do really where our expertise is storytelling and helping kind of amplify some of the best parts of the city.
City officials say the $150,000 price tag to hire the PR firm was a necessary investment.
The goals of the branding work are really about investment in the community. We'd like to see businesses come here, stay here, invest here. We also are always looking to attract residents.
Kim Berggren specifically highlighted the 1,500 acres of undeveloped land in the northern part of the city as a big reason for the branding campaign.
We want to make sure we're attracting quality investment up in that area and we get the best development that we can get.
Whether it pays off remains to be seen, but in the meantime, people who live and work here say they're excited the city is making the effort.
I mean, it's needed. If we don't do that, Brooklyn Park is still going to have that persona of crime and bad things that really it's not all that prevalent here.
Representatives from Carmichael Lynch Spong say they'll continue gathering information over the next couple months, but won't begin telling the city's story until about May. Well, coming up on 12 News Weekend, work will begin on a new trail in Robbinsdale this summer. We'll show you where it will go.
And then later in sports, we check in on the Maranatha boys basketball team who are raking up the wins again this winter.
But first, the brutal cold returns. Monday and Tuesday carry extra risk for frostbite. Welcome back. Well, if you love to run, walk, or bike, there will soon be a new trail option in the Northwest Metro.
The Robbinsdale City Council approved the Crystal Lake Regional Trail. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us how it will serve as a key connection.
Denise Nova enjoys walking her two dogs around Victory Memorial Parkway.
The red one is Katie and the white one is Tess.
She's excited her dogs will have new ground to cover.
Well, I think that would be a great idea. The more interesting places we have to walk, the better it is.
Three Rivers Park District is developing the trail.
It will provide a fantastic amenity for the residents of our city. A lot of people at the moment walk, run, bike around Crystal Lake as it is.
The Crystal Lake Regional Trail will stretch for miles and link to other trails in the area.
The ultimate trail running from the Grand Rounds, connecting down here, Victory Memorial Parkway, approximately at Lowry Avenue, and going all the way up to the Elm Creek Park Reserve.
I don't think we'd walk that far, but that's great, especially for bikers.
The City Council was worried about people having to cross over busy County Road 9. As a result, the trail will now have a narrow crossing and the speed limit will be reduced in that area.
That version has a crossing at County Road 9 near Lake Road. They would then proceed along the northern side of County Road 9 up to Lakeland Avenue.
Now the trail will also include a boardwalk. It'll go right along Crystal Lake here, right behind the woods behind me. The whole idea is to get people up and close to the lake, but not everybody was on board with the boardwalk. Some of the residents were concerned that the boardwalk would have a negative impact on animals in the wooded area, while others just didn't want it in their backyard.
They were worried that folk using the boardwalk might then have a closer view or a view into their homes.
Because the trail goes for miles and will cross into several different cities, more people will be able to get out and enjoy the great outdoors.
It's great. I mean, more trails is always a good thing, more exercise, getting people out there.
In Robbinsdale, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The Three Rivers Park District is funding the project, which is estimated to cost more than $2 million. Work on the trail will begin this summer. Coming up, don't worry about catching talent on American Idol. You can stay tuned for our Standout student reports.
But first, it takes overtime to decide a key girls basketball battle between Cooper and Benilde St. Margaret's. That's coming up in sports with Jay Wilcox. Welcome back. Jay Wilcox joins us now at sports, and it sounds like there's a big shakeup in the world of high school football this week.
Yeah, everybody was talking about
Some changes coming, definitely, and it'll be real interesting to see just how much of a change it is for all of our local teams, too. Local schools were closed because of cold weather on Thursday, but the State High School League was very busy. Football scheduling was a main topic at a league board meeting, and the league's board of directors approved a new district scheduling format for the regular season in response to schools having trouble filling an 8-game schedule. Starting in 2015, teams will be grouped into districts based on school size, geography, strength of program, and other factors. Districts would ideally include at least 16 teams, and schools would then play all of their regular season games within that district. The playoffs, though, would not change. The 5 Lake Conference schools, including Wayzata and Hopkins, have had difficulty finding enough opponents to play a full schedule in recent seasons, and statewide they were not alone. District groupings will be decided at a later date. Again, this takes effect for the 2015 season. Also in that season, the board approved an opening date for practice of August 10th. The Prep Bowl will be earlier than normal that year because of scheduling conflicts at the University of Minnesota's TCF Bank Stadium, leading to a decision to start the season early. And also, softball will expand from 3 classes to 4 for playoff competition. After finishing as state runner-up in Class A last season, the boys basketball team at Maranatha Christian Academy in Brooklyn Park has a lot of new faces in the lineup this season. That hasn't stopped the Mustangs from getting off to a good start, though. They entered the weekend with a 14-1 record, and the guys admit they weren't sure what to expect when the season started, but they're pretty happy with the results so far.
We came in not having as many expectations as we usually have throughout the season, or coming into it, I guess I'd say. But everybody stepped up and everybody's playing to their role exactly how we need them to, and everything's looking good for us so far.
For a junior-dominated team, we've got the one senior with Josh Goldschmidt. The young juniors have come a long way, and I think the progress is there both offensively and defensively right now. So we're pleased so far.
Maranatha, seen here in earlier games, had their lone loss in an overtime contest against a good Class 3A team, Minneapolis Washburn. Losing wasn't much fun, but the Mustangs have no doubt that it's a game that'll help them get better.
Even though we lost to Washburn, it was a good building process for the team, and I definitely think we learned from that game, and we played our hardest. That was the hardest game we played all year, so I definitely thought I think we've been building. So.
Maranatha is playing a rescheduled game Saturday night at Lester Prairie Holy Trinity. That was pushed back 2 days because of Thursday's school closing. They're at New Life Academy on Tuesday. In North Suburban Conference girls basketball, the last 2 unbeaten teams in league play met up as Cooper paid a visit to Benilde St. Margaret's. Benilde's in red, and good hustle here by Allie Coughlin to steal the pass, and she turns it back up court. And she goes all the way in for the layup. The Red Knights grab a 16-10 early lead. And they build on that lead as Grace Coughlin drives but can't get the shot to drop here. But Sophie Hughes is there for the putback, and Benilde goes up by 9. Cooper keeps battling back. Makaya Harvey drives and gets it to Lauren Johnson, who spins to hit off the glass. The Hawks are within 4 at halftime. Benilde maintains the lead into the second half. Gretchen Sattler sets up Azaria Jackson-Sherrod for the bucket inside. Off a Benilde miss, Cooper rebounds, but the outlet pass is stolen by Grace Coughlin, who scores 2 of her game-high 33. Benilde's up 8 with a little over 2 minutes left, but Cooper does not go away. Johnson muscles her way in for the hoop. She scores 17 to lead the Hawks, and they're within 1. Down 61-58 with 7 seconds left. Manita Kelly passes to Lori Bowler, and her high arcing jumper is good for 3. That one ties it up and sends it to overtime. Cooper keeps the momentum in OT. Alicia Sutton ahead to Bowler, to Johnson for a layup here. As Cooper's great rally ends in a 70-65 win. We'll have highlights of the battles for first in Northwest Suburban girls basketball and boys basketball Monday on our Sports Jam shows. So some great races shaping up in all these local conferences right now.
All right, looks like it was an exciting game.
Yeah, great comeback there for Cooper.
All right, thanks, Jay.
Yep.
Up next, a local singer-songwriter who has talent and drive.
You'll find out who she says is her greatest influence, and we'll be right back.
Treasure hunters in Plymouth, you are too late. That prize medallion has been found after 3 clues. Marlis Wallace and her grandson Michael found the medallion on the bleachers on Field B at Zachary Playfields. They will be awarded the $250 prize at the Plymouth Fire and Ice Festival on February 1st. Delane, maybe they should get a little bit more since they hunted for it while it was so cold.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
might be a good idea. Congratulations,
Troopers out there,
guys.
yeah, indeed.
Every student at the Purpich School in Golden Valley is involved in the arts.
But as Cassie Bonstrom reports, one student has taken her education to the next level by releasing her own album.
For Kaleigh Herter, coming to Purpich was the best decision she's ever made.
No need to apologize, I should have made it right, I know, I should have known better.
Here, her school day includes singing with an ensemble, rehearsing for the spring musical, and surrounding herself with people who share a similar passion for music.
Most things in my life don't happen unless music is involved.
But it was one teacher in particular who encouraged Kaleigh to take her love of singing and songwriting one step further.
He was fantastic.
Aaron Hilden was Kaleigh's former teacher and mentor. He encouraged Kaleigh to make her own album.
He taught me everything I know about recording, everything I know about sound, pretty much.
Aaron died unexpectedly last fall. Kaleigh decided to move forward in his honor, and this month released her first CD, appropriately titled Hilden.
Pretty much this whole album wouldn't have happened without Aaron Hilden.
But while the album might be her biggest accomplishment so far, teacher Janice Hunton says Kaleigh's best qualities are her leadership and charisma.
She has been really instrumental in bringing the whole department together in ways that I don't think any other student really has. She can talk to anybody and make them feel welcome and make them feel included.
That, combined with her voice and ambition, and no one doubts that Kaleigh is destined for great things.
So I definitely see her as continuing a career as a singer-songwriter. The world deserves that from her.
I try really, really hard, so I'm glad that things come out of it.
In Golden Valley, Cassie Bonstrom, 12 News.
And if you'd like to visit Kaleigh's website and download her music, we'll have a link on our website at 12.tv. What do you think about that?
A very talented young lady.
Yeah, all those Purpich kids, it's very impressive to see what they can do and come out with.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for now, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Have a nice weekend. We'll see you again Monday at 4 o'clock.